What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp and welcome back to episode 98 of Room Tour Project, the series where we show off some of the best setups. We do it almost every single weekend to give you guys some ideas and inspirations for your setup, and we are quickly approaching episode 100. It's been an awesome journey, so comment down below on what kind of theme you want to see me do for that milestone episode or some cool idea to switch it up. Definitely let me know. I'll have all the products and hardware you see in the description down below so you can check it out. But let's start off episode 98. First up, we got RevLogic with this crazy awesome gaming room here. Really nicely done and really helped out also by the use of lights and RGB lights in this room. First off, for those triple monitors, he has 3 of the Asus VN27H panel, 24 inches apiece, giving him a nice triple monitor setup. Got a lot of arm space on his desk, which is definitely a plus, which means he has everything laid out efficiently. And I can't help but notice the nice carbon fiber wrap job he did to his desk, giving it an extra nice look and texture. And I gotta note, this is also a video and music production studio, so you can see some of his gear. We got the RME Babyface Pro here, powering his Yamaha HS5 speakers. And also for his peripherals, he has the Corsair Gaming K70 RGB keyboard with brown switches inside, with Logitech G502 mouse. Got some controllers there mounted on the wall right next to him. You can see his headphones and the Audio-Technica M40Xs, but all together, just so far for a desktop, this thing is looking killer already. Switching on over to his PC, inside is an i7 4790K CPU with 32 gigs of G.Skill Ripjaw RAM on an Asus Z97A motherboard, and we got an MSI GTX 970 graphics card with 2 1TB SSDs. And for gaming, music, and video production, this is going to be pretty capable. But like I said before, I love the lighting he has going on, lots of warm bulbs, and with those Nanoleaf Aurora panels he has mounted on a few of his walls here, really adds a whole new dimension of color and light all throughout the room. So whether it's gaming, video, or music production, this office is absolutely where it's at. Lots of really great stuff going on here, RevLogic, and I know this made me jealous right off the bat, which means that's a 10 out of 10 setup. Now check out some Kermit here. He's got a really nice single monitor gaming setup, again with the RGB lights, really accentuating things, kind of going for a Destiny themed as well. I'll show you that in a minute. As for that display, that is the Acer Predator X34, and going the solo ultra-wide monitor is definitely the best route for this situation. Nice little galactic wallpaper there too. For his peripherals, his keyboard is Logitech G410, coupled with the Razer Death Adder mouse. And while not entirely pictured, his sound is driven by the Leppy LP 2020A mini amp, which is hooked up to 2 Onkyo home theater speakers, and I'm sure I butchered the pronunciation of that. But he's got a nice RGB light strip behind his desk and behind his monitor there. He does have some Star Wars figures on his desk, along with the Destiny Ghost figure. You probably saw on his walls, he has like a Bungie poster and a Halo poster. Really decked out this gaming room properly, and he even has his own custom arcade machine you can see on the right hand side of the room, which is just powered from a Raspberry Pi, he said. And it's the little figurines, the posters, and stuff like this that just really make an awesome gaming room in the end. Before we get back to his PC, on the other side of the room by the couch, he has a nice TV mounted on the wall with another RGB light strip behind it that goes along to what's on his screen. You see there he's playing the Destiny 2 beta, so a really nice console gaming setup here as well in this awesome gaming room. But shifting back to his PC, at his desk he has the Corsair Air 540 case, and inside is an i3 4170 CPU with a Deepcool Gamma Max CPU cooler, 16 gigs of RAM on an ASRock H97 motherboard, and a Gigabyte GTX 970 graphics card. Plus a little cute puppy, but all together with the RGB fans inside, it helps match that green and kind of blue theme he has going on for his primary desk setup. And all together, like I said like 5 times, this is a really awesome gaming room. Does a great job bringing this to life. And all the jaws have dropped. Tyler here is saying, I see your triple monitors. Well, here's 6. And this is absolutely crazy. Honestly, I don't know what you would ever need 6 monitors for, let alone these displays he's got, but either way, it looks friggin' awesome. So getting into the specifics, those top 3 monitors are 32-inch BenQ displays at 1440p a piece, but the bottom 3 are 40-inch 4K TVs from Philips. Holy damn. He actually uses 2 PCs, one for gaming and one for streaming, but as for his peripherals here, for the gamepad, it's a Razer Orbweaver Chroma with the Razer Black Widow Chroma Tournament keyboard. And for the mice, he has the Logitech G900 and the Rockhat Cone XTD mouse. So as for those two PCs, this one here is his gaming one. Inside the Thermaltake Core WP20 is an Intel 4930K CPU with the Corsair H100i AIO on a Asus Rampage 4 Black Edition motherboard with 32 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RAM and 3 EVGA Titan X graphics cards. Wow. Some nice subtle lighting, and then over to his streaming PC. That is the Corsair 750D case, and inside he has dual Intel 26080 V4 CPUs on an Asus motherboard, 64 gigs of Crucial RAM. You see he's got two NZXT Kraken X42 coolers as well, with the Elgato HD60 Pro capture card and an AMD R9 290 GPU. But this dude, 6 displays, 2 PCs, you must be the king of streaming, man. But alright, Tyler, let me know what it is you stream if you're watching in the comment section, because 6 displays is nuts, let alone 3 40-inch 4K TVs. Got some banging dual PCs as well. This is definitely awesome. You just can't deny that. Now, coming back down to earth here, Glenn's hitting up with this nice and soothing, very relaxing setup here. This isn't exactly a, quote, gaming setup, but it's still a nice setup as it is, and I really wanted to include it. This is all ran off of his laptop, which is the HP Envy 15 notebook. Inside, he has NVIDIA GTX 850M graphics with 12 gigs of RAM, and that's then plugged into his Asus 27-inch monitor, which is the MX279H. On top, he has a mounted TV, which is a 32-inch TV from Samsung here, so we can have that kind of like stacked monitor orientation. As for some of his gear, he has the Logitech M705 wireless mouse with the Logitech MK710 wireless keyboard, with things like the Google Wi-Fi system around. He's got a Bluetooth speaker from Anchor on his desk, an RGB light strip behind there, and a naughty notification device. I'm a big fan of that. And as for audio, he's rocking the Audio-Technica M50X, the BL Black editions, which is really nice. Those are in a limited color edition, and it's sitting on an Elago headphone stand. Off to the side, he's got some cubbies and drawers for keeping some things like games and books, and his setup is made up from the IKEA Malm desk, which is a pretty good solution here for this. And like I said, all together with the gear you have, you put together a nice setup as a whole, even though it's not for, just gaming. And then rounding out the episode, we have Peter with another triple monitor setup. This one's decked out in a lot of white and black with a splash of some color with things like its RGB light strip and those wallpapers. Now, it's not the most clean or the most organized setup I've seen, but that's okay. This is Room Tour Project, we don't criticize. But for those 3 screens, that's the Dell U2716DH. It's got G-Sync and 144Hz refresh rate, quality display here. Definitely great for racing games here, as he's shown with that cockpit view. As for his peripherals, he has the Philco Majestouch convertible 2 keyboard with the Logitech G900S mouse on a nice white extended mouse pad, along with the Creative Sound Blaster X Katana soundbar there, and the Audio Engine A2 Plus speakers, again in white, to give the whole setup a nice matching look. And for headphones, he's rocking the Sennheiser HD700. These cans are awesome. And then over to his PC, inside his Corsair Carbide Air 740 case, he has an i7 5820K CPU with the Fractal Design T12 AIO on an Asus X99 Deluxe motherboard, 16 gigs of Kingston HyperX RAM, and 2 GTX 1080 Extreme Gaming graphics cards from Gigabyte, plus a ton of hard drive space. He's got almost like 3 terabytes of SSDs, which is just nuts. So in terms of gear and peripherals, you are definitely decked out, dude, and I love the whole triple monitor setup you got going on. Primarily white and black with a few splashes of color here and there, and just take a look at your kid's face. Like, he is so happy, he's so pumped, whether it's hanging out with you gaming or just watching you game. I'm sure you guys are making a lot of great memories together, and that's what gaming is all about, right? And a big shout out to Corsair for sponsoring this episode of Room Tour Project with their new Corsair Vengeance RGB RAM. Whether you're building a new PC or you want to upgrade the looks of your current one, these sticks are the way to go. Optimized for Intel 100 and 200 series desktops with AMD support coming soon, not only are you getting some of the fastest speeds, but you're getting improved temperatures as well with their new heat spreaders. The flashy RGB lights can be easily controlled in their Corsair Link software. It's going to make your PC look about 48 times better. If you're interested, I'll put a link to them in the description down below. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for episode 98 of Room Tour Project. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, check the description down below for all the products and gear you saw. It'll be listed down there for you, as well as some simple instructions on how to submit your setup if you want to be possibly considered to be on a future episode of Room Tour Project, but make sure it is 10 out of 10. As always, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at randomfrankp. Give me a follow over on there. And last, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss any future episodes of Room Tour Project, as well as all the cool tech videos we got coming out real soon. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.